Dying Light is a feature film, psychological horror film, and fundamentally the first feature film conceived and shot in Scotland that has had a film school as part of the whole concept from the get-go.
It's a feature film, horror feature, closed room horror feature thriller that was written by the talented McLean and produced and directed by me. And we were very kindly given £50,000 by the Big Lottery to make our debut feature because we said we would train 15 young people to work on the film.
I'm from Port Glasgow. I've got a partner and 2 children. I was on benefits before this and I came here just basically for tips on writing because I wanted to write fiction and came to try and get a bit of help on writing and just get involved in the filmmaking and the art side of it and done a wee bit of directing short films and wrote a script for a short film.
Well, it's a film and film's my passion. I love film. Love everything to do with film, just want to learn more about it, I want to work in it. Seen an advert in the Greenwich Telegraph, plug, and phoned up David and said, "Hi David, hear you're making a film, why do you like us to be on it?"
I wanted to be part of like the Dying Light project because it would give me more experience because I want to be a camera operator, so I thought, oh, this might be good, come along and see how it goes.
I basically saw an advert on social media, contacted David Newbigging, who's the director, and from there just started going to meetings.
There's been great progress over the course of the film school. Some of them had a bit of film experience from college, some of them had absolutely no experience and just fancied getting involved, some of them hadn't film experience and were already making their own films, so there was a bit of a mix. Yeah, there was a great change in a lot of them in terms of the way they looked at film and how they thought about film and how they thought about practically making a film.
It's really important to me, and it was all the way through the filmmaking, to ask the students what their point of view was, how they interpreted the script, what their visual keys were, what they thought was important, what they thought wasn't important.
Workshops were really good, really informative, and gave us a kind of general idea as to how everything would kind of come together and all the different jobs, well, not all the different jobs, but the main jobs like the direction, like design and things like that. That was really good.
I learned quite a bit about script writing and how to get all the camera angles that you want without overdoing it with the amount of times you're running that scene. A lot about film in general and the way crews all working together and how to be a team.
And I think the idea of the workshops as well as to one thing was to try and bring everybody together, and it certainly has done its job.
So that's what we've been doing. The film is a film, but it's also a film school. So we, for the last 2 months, 3 months, we've been training these young people to take roles in the crew, not to act in the film, take roles in the crew. And that's where we are now. We're shooting.
Quiet please, sound, speed, camera.
Okay.
Scene 2C, slate 15, take 3.
Okay, and camera is set.
Okay, and action.
My role is I'm a camera assistant. Basically what that entails is every morning getting the camera all set up, getting everything that goes along with the camera set up. I'm also helping out the director of photographer, George. And what I'm doing for him on set is using the slating the scenes, also help set up lights as well. And I know on different films you would have someone do that, but because it's quite a short film, I'm also doubling as the lighting as well.
In the production of Dying Light, I'm acting as sound recordist and boom operator, which basically involves capturing any sound that takes place in the environment. That can be from dialogue to footsteps, any sound that happens in that area.
Market.
Scene 8A, slate 2, take 3. My role on the film is a camera assistant to George, the DOP, and all I do is just like the board where it's writing down the scene number, the slide number and the take as well, and also like just helping move the camera about and the lights as well.
Just an extra.
I started off in props and now I'm costume supervisor. So I have to iron the undies, get into the BO, make sure there's hot water bottles and stuff like that, iron clothes.
I'm in charge of continuity, which is essentially making sure if something gets dropped, it's in the right place, or if someone's hair is sitting away, it has to sit that way the next day, or keep track of costume changes and things like that.
That's fake. I'm either assistant art director or standby props, but I basically just make sure all the props are right. If we need fake knives or fake needles, I make sure they're fakes. If they're real, I make sure everybody knows they're real. Make sure work with continuity to make sure the props are in the right place and the props that are needed for each scene will be there when they're needed.
I'm native, I love the working streaming, this is a bit.
My role on the set is first assistant director. Basically my job is to make everything run smoothly, make sure the director's doing everything on time, make sure that we start on time, leave on time, go to lunch on time, and we get everything that we need that particular day.
There are a few teething problems obviously, a few working together with people you've never worked with before, problems in like the attitude you have on set, you know, because they've never done it before. But once they got around those problems, yeah, they're absolutely fantastic.
The first couple of days, I was like, oh my god! You know, I was a bit kind of like, it seemed to be a little bit difficult with what everyone, I don't think everyone really was that clued up on what they were supposed to be doing.
It took everybody by surprise, and it was really difficult to kind of warm up to everybody and in their roles and different things like that. It was really difficult to begin with.
I thought I was actually a lot more prepared, but when I actually started, you realise that you are working with industry professionals and it's a big jump. But after a few days into the groove of stuff, you learn, obviously, with professionals who have come in just as the production started, you learn how to work alongside them, how to not infringe on their space when they're trying to do their job. So once that was all kind of in place after a few days, I found that my work flow got a lot easier.
I think when you're making a film of any kind, there's always going to be things that are difficult and moments that are hard, especially a horror film. Like, you know, you're trying to film things with blood and with gore, and then things are getting CGI'd in later on, and so obviously those things are tough.
The hardest part has probably just been socialising with people that I've never met before, sort of thing. It was quite difficult to kind of break into a group, and it started off quite fractured. A lot of people working in their own groups, but it's really melded together quite well, so that's probably the hardest part.
I think everyone's done amazing, and you know, I'm quite surprised that nobody's had kind of experience before this in filming and in the industry, because everybody seems to have picked up really, really quickly.
I mean, by literally day 3, everyone was just like on it. Everyone knew what they were doing and everyone was just really professional, actually.
We wouldn't have been able to make this film without it. One, we wouldn't have got the money to make the film. This is a kind of new way of funding feature films, and yes, it is a very small amount of money for a feature film, but without that social element, the money wouldn't be there.
It's been really good, and I think the actors have really enjoyed themselves as well, getting to know us. And
I've really enjoyed just being here, being around you lot. It's been a real laugh.
Yes! I've had loads of fun making this film. You know, all the guys, yourself, David, costume man, and everyone on the team has just been brilliant and just really funny, and the banter's been great.
Can you give us any funny moments that don't have, that are like maybe PG?
No.
I don't know, I've kind of enjoyed it. The hardest part is honestly don't know what can happen. I'll be back, get the police.
Was it on when you were
Nobody cared who I was until I put on the mask.
The hardest part is keeping this door shut. To be perfectly honest. The amount of times I've asked people to shut this door is unbelievable.
You doing my dad's seat? Can I take you seriously?
What's going on? What's going on?
Hi Chris, how you doing? My name's Owen.
It's been a real pleasure, and not every job's like that. Not every job's, you know, it's just so much fun. I've had a real laugh.
And obviously working with Kelly is brilliant. She's just really, really good fun, really chilled out, and yeah, one thing I can say about this is it's been a lot of fun.
Well, obviously we want to make a really good film, and we want the young people involved to have a really good experience. We want them to go on from this thinking about what they want to do with their lives, because we're in quite a deprived area here in Greenwich.
No, I love it, it's great, I love it, it's been good, great guys, made a few friends and stuff, it's been really good.
We aimed and we hoped that people would, one, have fun, two, have some sort of element of professional aspiration, let's call it, and that a small group within that bigger group might possibly want to work within the industry.
Possibly getting to experience, you know, to maybe hopefully pursue a career in film, but learning other aspects about how to properly set up cameras, how to properly get shots done, also how to work with others, how to manage a set as well. Is all important, I think, if you're getting into an industry or even want to shoot your own short films, because you need to do it properly.
Well, first and foremost, I've got to know a lot of good people from all areas of the film industry, which can only be a good thing and help me further my career, but also just to actually work in the environment.
The experience has been great. It's been really good to work with professionals and amateurs alike, because I'm an amateur, I'm not a professional, and it's been really good to work with people who are like-minded, people who enjoy film, people who actually want to be here.
It's just changed the ball game really for me. I mean, I'm used to doing little short things where it's like, oh, it doesn't really matter, but seeing someone like that at work, you know, where everything has to be perfect, everything's done a certain way is brilliant, and I took a lot from it.
The whole community aspect of this project, it's not as if I've come in at the last minute as a sound designer, we've all played an equal part on building the production literally from the ground, setting all, so good.
Arts in this kind of time at the moment needs some kind of social justification for a lot of it, and this is a huge social justification. It's provided people with experience and jobs and training, and also confidence.
It has helped with socialising and anxiety and confidence issues, so I definitely feel that it's benefited me in that way somehow.
I've lost a lot of confidence recently, and I'd hardly been out or anything, and it's really given me a big boost of my confidence.
I think I've gained more confidence about how to work on the set and like your behaviour and stuff, behaviour on set as well.
As I've said before, you feel as if you've got the skill sets, but putting them into practice and working alongside individuals who've been working in the industry for over 20 years can be intimidating, but you've just got to learn that they're at the same stage as you at some point, and you've just got to make that big step forward into the industry. And I believe that this project has been very beneficial in helping me do that.
There is nothing that beats that feeling of seeing it on the screen at the end with an audience, but that feeling I think will be enhanced by the fact that knowing that these young people behind that had a fantastic experience out of it and got someone. I've worked with this my whole life making feature film, and some of them have as well, and it's taken me to this point in my life to do that, but they're on that with me right at the beginning. So knowing